Good day, everyone. Richard Cowperthwait for Northwest Access TV. Thanks for joining us. We have St. Albans Mayor Tim Smith alongside today. Mr. Mayor, good to see you.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
And nice. I'm good. I'm good. Nice to see some rain. We're taping the show on Wednesday, October 22nd, and geez, another batch of rain. Talk about desperately needed rain, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how much of an impact it will have, but
I'm sure some, but yeah, it sounds
helps.
like we could use a lot more. But I saw some of the rainfall amounts a couple of days ago were, I guess, Plattsburgh, a couple inches, Burlington about 1.6. Or, of course, I'd love to know who these observers are. Fletcher, somebody called in over 3 inches. Sheldon, 2.75. I hope these are accurate stats, but nice to see some rain. Boy, what a low lake.
I haven't been down. I've been meaning to get to Kilcare to check it out.
Haven't walked out to Mosquito yet. Actually, I haven't either.
I've been to Mosquito. This is like first or second week in September. I haven't been back since, so I need to check it out.
Yeah, lake got down to about 92.8 feet. Was about the lowest. Record low 92.4, 1908. Not too far from a record low.
That's interesting.
Anyway, so how are things in the city of St. Albans these days? Sounds like pretty good summer, good active summer. I caught farmers market again last Saturday.
Yeah, farmers market started out a little rough weather-wise. I think they got rained on probably 4 or 5 of the early ones. I mean, we went through that period where I think there was rain every weekend.
Yeah,
may not have been significant.
It's funny how things just totally turned around.
Farmers market, car show, music in the park.
Oh, I missed the last car show again. I'm not on top of things. I think it was a benefit for Camp Tecumseh. I didn't even hear about that till after.
Yeah, so those. What else? Of course, protests.
The Kingman Street event.
You got back in May. You had the Kingman Fest. And then you got the protesting going on corner of Fairfield and Main. And
of course, No King's Day. I did catch that. It was a lively crowd down there.
They've been out there multiple times since springtime. We have a nice, for those who might catch this, we had a friend of mine, Pat Patel, had 2 of his friends from over the years. One's plays a cello and one's a guitar. They're doing a free concert Tuesday night.
I saw the poster for that. As in next Tuesday night?
This coming, the 28th.
Right. Okay.
So it's free and families are encouraged to attend. It's an hour long.
Yeah, that sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, top well-known artist in those fields. So it worked out well, and the First Congregational Church stepped up and were more than willing to host the show. So there's that. I think you and I have talked about it. People like music. I mean, you can all summer long. You could probably see something every night, someplace, and not spend much money on it. Yeah,
no, I caught most of the Taylor Park concerts, some of the ones in St. Albans Bay, but yeah, you're right. A lot of music around. East Fairfield. Old friend Tyrone Shaw and Nance doing their usual fine job.
Enosburg, Highgate.
Yeah, I caught a couple of Enosburg.
Georgia.
No, you're right. You're right. A lot of music.
Yeah, a lot of music. If you wanted to make a schedule and get out and visit all of them.
Winter season stuff not too far away. Now, Running of the Bells, I think December 4 for Running of the Bells event.
Yeah, it's the first Thursday usually in December. Yeah. I believe the Hallmark in the Park with Festival of Trees is couldn't be bigger and better than it had been. And last year it was wonderful, I thought. Goes along with the tree lighting. My guess is you'll start seeing people in the park. And then this Saturday you have the spooky Halloween downtown, which really brings a crowd out.
Downtown, how do you feel? Of course, we have some restaurant news. Adam Monet finally got going. Heard pretty good words about his place.
I've heard nothing but good about the food and whatnot.
And Old Foundry, One Federal will come back to life.
Yeah, we just approved a liquor license for them. Yeah. They were thinking December 1st, I believe.
And what kind of restaurant? What are you hearing about them?
The name, I believe, was Char, and that's more steak type of meals, steak and meats,
Yeah.
I think that's where they were headed. We didn't get into the menu too greatly,
Yeah.
but
And the old Norris site is coming back too?
north side is, the apartments are almost done upstairs, and
Oh.
I believe we were negotiating with the new restaurant owners about buying the whole building and sort of reimbursing us our investment into that, so we can use it elsewhere.
So there will be a restaurant will come back
Yep,
there?
No, no.
Interesting.
So, St. Albans is really becoming a foodie destination.
Yeah.
You got Jeff's and Drake's and Mimo's and Eastern Dragon and the Mexican restaurant and
Not to mention
I
the
mean-
downtown movie theater of all things.
yeah. So downtown's been crowded. There are vacant storefronts for sure,
Yeah.
but I think we continue to work on those. And
I guess UPS has been looking, I guess they'll be moving out at some point.
I was just
huh?
thinking about that the other day. I mean, that's been the talk.
Taken a while.
Yeah, rumors they were going to head towards the Highgate Shopping Plaza, which will, it brings a lot of people downtown.
Yeah.
And as does and Twigs is a good destination as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I don't think we can complain where we stand. I think a lot of people want it to be perfect and have every storefront full.
Yeah.
But
Good luck with that these days.
yeah, exactly. And if drive through some other towns and see how they're doing, I
Yeah.
think we stand pretty well up against those other towns.
Yeah.
So,
Boy, I guess Dairy Farmers of America, one of the maybe bigger stories with the odor issues coming out of
Yeah.
the DFA plant.
yeah, no, we
Did that, I never remember hearing about that any time in the distant past. Is that a relatively new issue? Or has that
yeah, it's a
come up
new
before?
issue. They
Huh.
put in some pretreatment for their wastewater,
Huh.
which is I think we believe is probably driving the smells.
Yeah. Huh.
The co-op didn't have to do that in the past. They didn't make they weren't required to make the investment into a pretreatment.
Huh.
DFA through Agency of Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation made the request of them to improve their pretreatment before it goes into the city's
Huh.
wastewater plant.
Yeah.
So they're working on it. I think we'd like to see it a little more, a little quicker,
Yeah.
the resolution to be quicker than what it has been. It'll be 2 months since we first met with them back in September.
How far are those odor? You're getting complaints from how far away
Yeah,
from the plants?
I for
Nothing
one.
I'm picking up on.
No,
Of course, I'm on the east side of
And
North Main Street.
you, myself, Tim Hawkins, who lives on Brainerd, and I stated that I have never smelt it
Right.
up on Messenger or above.
Yeah.
I think it lingers in that Federal Street, Aldous Street,
Yeah.
Lower Newton area, Hoyt Street possibly,
Yeah.
because I know a lot of the Bethel Court, I believe it is.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Richard Carr.
Yeah, they've probably have received the brunt of it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking to DFA. They've been to a development review meeting and a council meeting,
Yeah.
and they're working with consultants. And we're just trying to solicit calls for those that smell it, and so we have a better timeline, and then look at what the data shows us from DFA and see if we can match up what's going on and see where it might be.
Yeah.
Might be a solution for rectifying the situation.
DFA also in the news. Not every day you see picketing workers out in front of their plant, but the strike did get settled after, I guess, a couple weeks or so.
Yeah. I guess you and I talked about it. St. Albans is, we had our choices of picketing. We had the No Kings protest, and then I think the hospital, I didn't see it, but the hospital
I guess there
had
was
some people.
Right.
And then, of course, DFA I don't know that we've ever had 3 in 1 year, much less 1 week.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't happen every day.
no.
Yeah, I guess what nurses at Northwestern Medical Center unionized a while back, and I guess they're Just trying to struggle through a new contract, I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah, I think they resolved it, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they did, but you're probably ahead
Well,
of me. I think they were still working on it. I just wanted to
Yeah, I didn't,
get some attention to it, but I'm not sure.
yeah, so have to check on that.
Boy, do you hear much about the hospital? That consultant, whoever the consultant was for the Green Mountain Care Board, came out with recommendations, or just his or her report a while back, and I know the folks in Newport really freaked out with North Country Hospital. The recommendation by that one consultant was to really scale that down. You hear, and again, Northwestern, I don't think had anything like that, but you're running into concern once in a while about just the future of Northwestern, about our hospital?
Yeah, no, I think leadership at the hospital will tell you it's a tough environment when dealing with the Green Mountain Board and what their requirements are. They're not even recommendations, I don't think, but they are requirements.
Requirements in their case.
Yeah, so, I think the hospital, I look over at, what's the one in Morrisville? Copley? Copley, I think.
It's very good words for some of the stuff they do, hip replacements.
Yeah,
I think people
all the
for that
orthopedic
place.
stuff is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think I think I read where they did away with their birthing center.
Yeah, but I think that was a plan
So,
anyway.
It's interesting to see what the alternatives are when Morrisville, how long does it take you to get to Burlington? I mean, it's an hour at least,
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
someone is giving birth, that's a little tricky, I think. But
But the whole healthcare issue, and of course, as you folks deal with the budget every year, I mean, every year, just the increases in health insurance has got to be one of the biggest items in the increases, right?
Yeah, for sure. We cover 100% of the health insurance for our police officers.
Is that right?
was part of a benefit package.
And how much for other employees? A majority of it, I assume, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think we pay for FCIDC, we pay 15%.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the schools 15% or 19, 17, whatever it might be. So and the costs keep going up.
Yeah.
And I might just editorialize that I think the coverage goes down as the price goes up.
Yeah.
I mean, we pay quite a bit out of pocket for our family.
Yeah.
And the tricky piece about that is because I turned 65, I can no longer have an HSA health savings account to help offset some of the out of pocket.
So when you hook into Medicare, that kills that.
Yeah. So.
Of course, what an old person I am, I'm of course dealing with Medicare supplemental too.
Yeah.
And that's gone up quite a bit.
Yeah. So.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't know where it's all headed, but yeah, everything's if you look at housing cost and everything. So.
Speaking of housing, the official opening of Reed Commons not too long ago.
Yeah, I was out of town. I missed that.
Yeah.
I heard it was very well received.
Yeah. Of course, you've got one of your city councilors who I think just moved in, right?
Marie moves in, loves it.
husband.
Yeah, they really enjoy it.
And those guys have a Cathedral Square very, very good reputation, I think.
Yeah,
Wishamuck and Highgate. I hope they're still moving ahead with Highgate.
Yeah, they moved from St. Albans on the 6th when they did the ribbon cutting, went up to have a meeting at Highgate. Yeah, it'd be great for the village of Highgate for sure.
Yeah.
So, that would be a nice asset to Highgate.
175 Lake Street, the big unit there. Are they starting to?
Yeah, no,
I
I haven't talked to Grant directly, but I heard 70%.
Is that right?
I drove by the other night and a lot of lights in the windows.
Yeah.
So I think they're making headway, and I think it's been, for the most part, pretty quiet down around that area.
Yeah.
So I think that was a fear, is what would be the, what would there be issues with the police calls and whatnot. And from my understanding, there haven't been many.
Yeah. And speaking of housing, it looks like the city moving on pretty strongly on more housing on the old Fonda site, not far from Reed Commons.
Yeah, there's a few bumps in the road that the city manager is dealing with, but it's still moving forward.
that looks like. You think you'll pull that? That'll happen?
Definitely optimistic. I expect, the issues are minor, I think, that they're addressing, but I would expect this is going to move forward.
Yeah. And again, talk about some significant housing, apartments, whatever, near City Hall. That sounded like that was farther down the road. Is that still a hope, or is that
No, I think it's still a hope for sure. I think
Yeah.
the one conversation that comes up a lot is rental versus ownership.
Yeah.
And how do you get people into ownership of whether it's a condominium or a townhouse or something. So I think that's where some of the conversation is for sure. We just don't want 400 of rental units. Part of the whole discussion is how do we get people into their own homes?
Yeah.
And that's part of the discussion.
Yeah.
So.
Boy, part of their own homes. Just seems like housing, these issues just seem so difficult to me. What the state talking about ideally would like to see another 40,000 housing units.
I
interviewed Tate Brooks earlier today, and I said, boy, good luck with that. Tate said, I think that's realistic. I said, boy, good luck.
Yeah, I'm going to have to push back against Tate. Tate does a great job.
Yeah.
I just think 40 seems like a lot.
Yeah.
And I get it. The comparison I share is that in our neighborhood we had 4 families, 39 kids in 4 houses.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah, and now you have the 4 houses have maybe 13 people living in them.
Yeah.
So now you have to make up, if they're still in the state, you still have to make up 26
Right.
units of some sort.
Yeah.
So that's sort of how I look at it. I don't know if that adds up to 40,000 or not, but I don't. The town's doing some nice work on Pearl Street, down the far end of that. There's some single families going up there, and I see them popping up up by Martha's, not Martha's Kitchen, Mother Hubbard's.
Yeah.
There's a development there with Richard Cummings.
Oh, yeah.
Those appear to be higher end than more of a starter home for sure.
Yeah.
But time will tell.
Yeah. Well, with just the tariff, the seeming chaos about tariffs and Canada just getting so bitter at the U.S. government. We've talked before, again, maybe it's anecdotally, but Canadian, maybe not. Maybe there are stats for people crossing the border, but Canadian traffic definitely down significantly.
Yeah, I think
That's
everyone.
pretty clear, right?
I think everyone will tell you it's down. Whether you speak to Andy Julo over in the islands, or Chittenden County, or Franklin County.
Gary Douglas, of course, I see on TV about every other the Plattsburgh area, North Country Chamber of Commerce guy.
I think it's a given that I didn't. Let me go 2 things. Let me go back to Cathedral Square. I don't want to lose the fact that I believe 11 of those people moving in left their homes to sell them.
To presumably free up some
additional inventory. So that's sort of the intent when you do a senior housing is, and 11, I thought 11 was pretty good.
About a third of the tenants. Wow.
So
that's a good point.
And then, in terms of the Canadian traffic, I underestimated their commitment to their mission, if you will. I didn't think.
As in their mission to stay away from the U.S.
Stay away from U.S. and U.S. products. I thought there'd be a bump in the road, but not to the extent that they have done it. And
I'll listen, CJD is still a great radio station out of Montreal. They've got a great afternoon talk show guy, Aaron Rand. Been doing it forever. Very solid guy. But the comments I hear, the feelings are very strong. Of course, I hear some people will throw in, I happen to be in Vermont or New York, and the people are great and stuff. Some people, of course, try to make the distinction between no beef with the American people, but we could kill the government.
Yeah. And I think that's part of, on the reverse side, I think based on the attitude of not coming down, I think there's some concern from Americans that the treatment going across the border may not, and I've been up multiple times this summer, and I haven't
been up too much. I haven't run into anything.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything of that nature at all. So I would encourage folks, if they want to go to Cape, don't let that hold you back, because they've been very cordial and polite for sure.
Yeah.
So,
But that's tough. That's an issue that's just very painful to me.
yeah, no, it is. A lot, I mean, and a lot of Canadians have made huge sacrifices, right? I mean, they had camps or homes on the lake.
And of course, the
skiing.
value of their dollar, they get beat up on
Right,
that,
yeah.
of course.
And then skiing, they
Or at Jay Peak, talk to the folks at Steve Wright at Jay Peak. I mean, that's a huge hit for Jay Peak.
I heard the season passes were down significantly.
Yeah.
And more than likely, I mean, what else could you attribute it to? Last year, they had one of their best winters ever. They had the most snow in the country.
Right, they were most snow in the country, most snow in North America or wherever.
And so that's not, their season passes aren't down because of conditions, but it has, I think it trails right back to the movement to not come to the U.S.
St. Albans, so certainly the colors with the drought, which hopefully now is starting to end, but with the drought, wasn't the most brilliant fall foliage year, but still some pretty decent colors out there. Does St. Albans get some fall foliage tourism traffic for sure?
For sure. I ran into a couple from Michigan.
Really?
They had eaten downtown and had a conversation with them, and there's others. I'm trying to think a couple circumstances where I ran into folks. There's 2 bus trips at the Hampton Inn.
Oh, yeah.
So full bus tours. Not once, but I think 2 weeks in a row. So I think that part of it. But I agree with you. I didn't think the colors were that great, and then we got a rain like last week, and that really, I thought, perked it up. I thought our hillside on St. Albans and Fairfield Hill still is pretty good.
It's pretty nice
for this far into October.
Yeah, I finally got up into Hardack. Why I'm not walking right near my house or houses in Hardack, but nice walk up there, and still actually a fair amount of green. There's still a ways to go up there. I think I've said before, Tim, great job on the signage up there. And I'm embarrassed to say I should be up there all the time, but I hadn't even noticed the wolf monument being put up on the rock. Was that
that's
months ago, years ago?
Years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah. So just to touch on that briefly.
But great job. It's so nice up there.
Yeah, so I went up, exact same attitude. I went up last week, and I said the same thing. We're both at the base of the hill.
Yeah.
I said, well, I should be up here more than I am.
Right.
But Peter Cross and he has a group of individuals, I think all retired, that have taken on projects. And they took on the project, I think, 2 years ago, of elevating the Wolf Monument up on the ledge.
Yeah, great. That must have been quite the project.
It was quite a job for them. So that they completed that. And then we, being the Aldous Hill trustees, had a plate, recognition plate done up, bronze plate, put on a rock for the Kidder family for donating 42 acres, I believe it was. And that rock got knocked over.
Oh, really?
I think Peter Cross estimated the rock. I thought he said 1,200 pounds. I may be wrong. But his group, in conjunction with the city's Public Works, Public Works worked on the other one as well, uprighted the rock with the Kidder rock and cemented it into the ground, and it's very stationary now. So they did that project last month or September. So Mark Sweeney, Rainey Bates, I don't remember, Richard Stahl, Peter, they were all, they have a crew and they worked with Public Works. And so I, through Aldous Hill, we took them out for breakfast just to thank him. They didn't, they were all volunteers. And so that rock over by the tower, if you get a chance, looks great, upright. So, and it's quality work from Peter, right? It's not going to be off kilter at all. It's going to be perfectly straight and everything else, and it was. So
no, that's tremendous. That's a great effort by those folks.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
No, great park up there. Great park. St. Albans City PD, Chief Morris Lamont, fully staffed, Tim, at this point, or close to it?
I and a few of my board members were down before the town select board Monday night, and Chief and
he was here Monday night.
What's that?
Yeah, he was there Monday night.
Yeah,
I talked
and
to
then
Jonathan
so they
Giroux.
they were ahead of us talking, and
Yeah,
he said that they're full and
wow,
good with the crew. I just want to go back to Aldous Hill and Hardack area. There was another, and I failed to go, but there was another UVM cross-country meet. And
I think I mentioned last time I had you, I've never seen so much traffic. Maybe there was one after that, but
that one was a junior high one.
really, so there was another?
And then UVM had a college one.
Wow.
And the Sacred Heart team stayed downtown.
Oh, really?
And you could see them over the weekend running the streets of St. Albans.
Oh, is that right?
Going up to Hardack, yeah.
Huh.
So it's when you look at Hardack and
Right.
the pool and everything else has to
Yeah.
offer,
Yeah.
it really,
Tremendous,
it brings in some
incredible
extra-
resource.
yeah, it brings in extra dollars to
Yeah.
businesses and.
I'll be catching the Ollie lecture tomorrow at the
Yeah.
lodge there,
Yeah.
of course.
So the lodge is always busy. It's been great.
Yeah.
So it's been good. We're fortunate.
I know Jonathan Giroux was very happy that the street crimes unit, we talked about that, but sounds like those folks make their presence felt around here.
Yeah, no, it's, and I speak firsthand because we had an incident next door to where I live.
Yeah.
I think Brian Delorde was referencing that as well
Huh.
Monday night, that up in his neighborhood,
Yeah.
they had some
Wow.
situations. So, yeah, I think it's great. If you talk to the city manager, he'd tell you that that's something that he would reverse if he could. And we cut it because of budget restraints probably
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Right.
And we lost some ground
Yeah.
relative to the drug environment. So I think we'll work hard to keep that in place in coming years for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I know speeding is an issue everywhere, I guess. I know it comes up probably everywhere. St. Albans City, is that not so much of an issue in the city, or is it?
no, there's a combination of a lot of things, right? You have I think speeding for sure, loud vehicles.
Boy, loud vehicles,
that-
in my old age, I sure take note of
Yeah,
that.
no,
Drive me crazy.
I tried to address it a little bit in my mayor's message.
Yeah,
Burnout and doing donuts, it's amazing.
yeah, really.
I think it's a TikTok thing where you
Yeah.
have someone film it and you
Wow.
post it.
Oh, great.
But the amount of rubber that comes off in some of those donuts is unbelievable. I mean, I don't know who's paying for
Yeah.
tires,
Wow.
but tires aren't going to last very long. And you've seen it on Messenger.
Yeah.
We had a burnout from Brainerd Street all the way to Congress.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
could see the tracks the whole way.
Yeah.
So those are tough ones to try to catch. But there was an extensive conversation at the town meeting with Chief and Paul Talley and Ben Kuchar. They've talked about what can be done to not eliminate, but reduce the amount of speeding, whether it's speed bumps, whether it's the radar clocks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an ongoing discussion with probably not a good solution.
Sounds like it. Tim, down to a minute and a half. Anything we haven't talked about you want to briefly jump into?
Yeah,
Bunch of work already underway or starting to get underway for the next fiscal year?
yeah.
Budget work?
The budget committee will be meeting here soon.
Yeah.
They do a great job. I'd like to say that I think we've come a long ways from last summer relative to, and Chief Lamont alluded to it the other night. Instead of 7, 8 petty theft incidences a day, we're down to
day?
probably 3 or 4 a week.
Wow.
So we've reduced that
break.
significantly. The vagrancy, we still have issues, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like it was last year. And
Yeah.
that goes to the
Good.
full police force,
Yeah.
the addition of the street crimes unit.
Yeah.
So a combination of all that, I think has really made a difference.
And winter coming on, fall and winter probably doesn't hurt to keep things, to maybe tamp down a bit on some crime issues anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll be breaking up another encampment.
Yeah, is that right?
And that'll be done, I think, before snowfall, so
Wow.
that should help. It won't help in the short term, but in the long run, I think it'll make a big difference.
On that note, we'll call it a day. Thanks
Okay.
to St. Albans Mayor Tim Smith.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks to producer Alan Cunningham. I'm Richard Cowperthwait. Thanks for being with us here on Northwest Access TV. See you next time.